S43, war number 4, and we are up against HCAR. And this time my team will be Valkyrie, Omega Sentinel, and Silk. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, along with that America Chavez there on the shared fight. Then I'm also taking Ebony Maw and Jessica Jones there in Section 2. Then for Section 2 paths I am taking Path 5 once again with the Omega Sentinel. And then finally for the boss island I will be taking Absorbing Man and Korg there on the right side. Now, as you might have noticed from the thumbnail, and that Absorbing Man is gonna be an interesting one. Well, to say the least. But more on that once we get there. Up first we have a Hulkling on the ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie. And this is not the first time I'm taking this fight. It's a pretty simple one, but it does take some time and setup to get done properly. And the game plan essentially is to just build up my buffs, get my special 2, knock down the defender with a heavy attack to remove the protection, and then try to nuke him down with a single cycle of the special 2 Fury. Usually this fight does not go down in a single cycle, but all you really need to do after that is just repeat the process and you're good to go. Now, I'm mainly hitting into his block to build up my pierce buffs here, to make sure he doesn't gain that much power, to avoid him spamming those specials over and over again. If he keeps spamming the special once, he's gonna be pushing me to my side of the field, and that's not where you wanna be with Valkyrie, or with most champions. Now that I'm done building the pierce buffs, I went ahead and inverted my combo to try to get at least a couple bulwarks before my special 2 to get a little bit more damage, but since my power bar is getting closer and closer to that special 3, I decide that just one is enough and I go for the parry heavy to remove the protection, and then I'm gonna try to throw the special 2 into his block. But I messed it up. My timing was not right there for the dash back into special, so he dexed instead, and he ate the special directly, triggering the indestructible and the regen buffs, so I lost on a ton of damage there, which is pretty sad to see, but I don't think this fight would have been done in a single cycle anyways, so all I just gotta do now is get back up to my special 2 and try again. I still have all my ramp up because for whatever reason Valkyrie does not convert her buffs into passives on the right back at it node, because the heavy attack does not actually trigger the intimidate. So I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to work, but that is how it works, at least currently. So nothing was really lost with that failed special 2. Then we have a Nick Fury on the ebb and flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Valkyrie as well. And this is also a fight that I have taken plenty of times in the past. Game plan here is once again to build up my buffs, get my special 2, knock down the opponent with a heavy attack to remove the protection, and then nuke the fight down with that special 2 rotation. And now, since Nick Fury here has 2 lives, it means I have to do the rotation at least twice, but that's fine. Nick Fury isn't exactly a difficult opponent to fight, and the heavy hitter node here simply doesn't do anything either, because Valkyrie will just bypass the unstoppable. As far as the ramp up itself goes, I go for both blocked hits and direct hits to both gain my power faster, as well as to control how many tactical charges Nick Fury here has. I never want him to go unblockable with that special 1, so I do my best to avoid hitting him at times to not increase his charges, and then other times I'm gonna be hitting him on purpose to make sure he does get them, so that I have full control on when he's gonna be unblockable and when he's not. So now that Nick Fury is in his second life, all I need to do is just get back up to my special 2 and knock him down once more with my heavy attack, and then the special 2 should finish the job. Also, now that he's at 13 charges, I stop hitting him directly and only hit into his block to get him to his special 1, so that the special 1 will trigger the Fury buff instead of making him unblockable. I do just that and partially dex the special 1 here to avoid most of the damage. I'm fairly consistent with the decks there. It's not too bad to time properly. And here we go, special 2 into block. Fight is done in just less than 2 minutes. Does take quite a while still, but it's a pretty safe option. Then we have an America Chavez on the Ebb and Flow knockdown, right back at it, and aggression prowess node, and I'm taking this fight with Silk. Now, Silk is a great safe option for this fight due to her auto evade being a great safety net for her special 2, as well as her ability to basically ignore the dexterity mastery completely, so that Mystic Dispersion will not be a problem either. However, since this node has the right back at it node, making the defender debuff immune for a time after getting knocked down, that does hurt Silk's damage output quite a bit, since she can't inflict those physical vulnerabilities or stuns for quite a while after a knockdown. Now that said, protection does also hurt quite a bit here, and even with it up I go for the special 2. It does do a nice chunk of damage, but without all those protections and debuff immunity, I believe this fight should be done at least twice by now. But hey, Silk is still at full health, it's a very safe fight, a very simple fight as well. Nothing difficult about it, just bait the special 1 over and over. If for whatever reason America Chavez gets to her special 2, the auto evade will handle that, so there is absolutely no risk of dying here at all. The fight goes down in about a minute and a half, so it's not the slowest fight, but this can definitely be done a lot faster with some other options. That said, Silk is also a very fun champion to use, so I'm not complaining at all. Then we have an Ebony Maw on the Scared Stiff and Power Focus 2 nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Silk. I use an advanced power boost here to try to nuke this fight down as quickly as possible, but even if this fight does drag on a little bit, it should be very safe with Silk. I have easy access to knockdowns, so the falter should never be an issue, and the main threat here is that special 2, especially now that I somehow failed to dex his special 1 early enough and I consumed my auto evade. Now even after the special 2 I didn't get the auto evade back, I was 1 hit short, so instead of trying to do anything fancy, I just hold my block to get an opening so he would not throw the special 2, or in the event that he did, I would simply just block it. However, I did get my opening, I went for a special 1 to finish it off, and the fight did go down quite fast, but it was not as clean as it could be. Next up we have a Jessica Jones here on the Power Snack and 1 too many hits nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Silk. And the idea here is the exact same as it was in the previous war on the buffet node. Since Silk does not get the precision buff from the dexterity mastery, Power Snack will never trigger. So the only threat in this fight is that Power Sting, but even then it's never gonna do enough damage to actually kill me in this fight, so I don't really have to worry about it, though I will try to avoid using my specials while it's up. Other than that, Jessica Jones does have her Unstoppable, but that is shut down by Silk's Awaken ability, giving her easy access to slow debuffs, so there's nothing to worry about there either. All that is left is her health reversal whenever you have enough debuffs on you for Despair to kick in. So essentially every time I use a special at this point, since I have all of those weaknesses on me, she's gonna be reversing some of my willpower healing, which does suck, but it's not gonna do enough damage to actually finish me off, so there is no risk of dying here whatsoever unless I start in full combos for some reason. But that's not gonna happen this time around. All I need to do to finish this fight is just hit her a few more times with basic attacks. I'm not gonna use any specials to avoid any of the Power Sting damage, so I wouldn't have to use any potions, well, any more than just a single smaller one here, because that would be a waste of items. Sure, I would save a few seconds, but it's not worth it. Next up we have a couple fights with Omega Sentinel, starting with a Professor X on the Ebony Flow Intercept node. I did turn on the recoil masteries for these to make them faster, though these two fights are not really all that difficult, so it's not necessary. However, I didn't want to take any risks, so a few units here and there for some mastery changes, it's not gonna break the bank, especially the way I've been grinding arenas lately. Anyways, the actual game plan here is to just get my armor ups up to deal with the defense tactic, and then just hitting the opponent until they fall, while also landing some of those intercepts here and there to remove protection. Not necessary, but it does speed things up quite a bit. That's about all there is to it. Now against Professor X specifically, I do a little trick here with the Falter. Whenever he uses a special, he sits there for quite a while. If he has his Falter up, you can dash in to trigger the Falter, wait it out, and then still have enough time to punish the special before he can recover from it. Then we have a Kate Bishop here on the Ebony Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge nodes, and I'm using Omega Sentinel here as well. Game plan essentially the same. I gotta get my armor ups up to deal with the defense tactic. After that, all I need to do is just hit the opponent until they fall, and the main thing here is that I can't really parry the opponent, or if I do, I can't hit them while they are still stunned. Otherwise, she's gonna evade out of it and stun me, which will lead to me getting comboed, which is not what I want. I still have a fight with Omega Sentinel, so losing health here isn't ideal. I will mainly be baiting her special 1s because they are easier to dex, but the special 2 is fine as well. Though the special 2 can also be pretty scary because if you mess that up, it can be a death sentence. However, I've used Kate Bishop plenty of times myself. I'm very comfortable with her animations, so I'm also pretty comfortable dexing both of her specials consistently, so I wasn't really worried about that. Now, I won't be using any of my own specials here to avoid taking recoil damage, so that I won't have to use any potions. And also I didn't use any pre-fights on either of these fights, because the debuffs simply were not necessary. They wouldn't do much for me, so I didn't go for them at all. Now then, the upcoming fight. Now, some of you might be looking at my team and wondering what I'm planning on doing here, and well, you're gonna see in a minute. So we've got an Absorbing Man here on the Safeguard miniboss node. And real quick, the game plan here was to use Silk's heal reversal to completely nuke this guy down with all the regen, the insane regen that he has. And the fight would be fine, even with all the physical resistance, the damage cap and all of that. Now, there is a node on this specific miniboss node that I completely forgot about, and right about at this point I notice it. It has the Indomitable node, meaning that you cannot reverse the defender's healing. If you try to, they are instead just heal blocked. And that is a huge issue. The way that Silk's heal reversal works is that if the opponent has the slow debuff, their healing will be reversed as long as you keep hitting them. If you stop hitting them, their regen will not be reversed anymore, or in this case, blocked. So yeah, with how insane Absorbing Man's regen can be, that's a problem that I do not have a solution for. And basically, at this point, I know I'm screwed. My only way past the damage cap here is the burst damage at the end of Silk's specials. So somehow I need to build up a burst big enough to take him down all the way before he can regen it all back. And since his regeneration is based on his missing health, the lower he gets, the more he's gonna heal. And if I can't shut it off ASAP, it's not gonna look good. And I am either gonna time out or die to this fight. So now knowing that, I came up with a plan on the spot. It's a crazy one, but it just might work. I did have an invulnerability boost on, so I go ahead, push him to his special 3 and eat it. Now he is gonna trigger the regen after this because he refines his Uru form, so I gotta get in as soon as possible to get the slow up, keep hitting him so that he's gonna not be able to regen as much as he would, and then when the regen is off, I need to do the same again to try to nuke him down all the way before he uses the next special 3. Since he's not that low yet, I go ahead and bait this special one here to limit his power so I can take him a bit lower before my next full send damage rotation. And here is where things get a little bit tricky. I tried to go for a stand-up intercept to get as many of those physical vulnerabilities on the opponent as possible so that my special burst would hit a lot harder. But instead of allowing me to do that, he went straight for a special 2, and now he has his magma form. Knowing that, I need to bait another one and punish it with my heavy attack to shut it off, otherwise the special 3 is gonna refine the magma form and I'm gonna get incinerated to death. And now I got shallow evaded and it consumed all of my leftover indestructible charges. So I'm a little bit screwed. So at this point, knowing that it's basically all or nothing, I have to go for a Hail Mary play here. I'm getting to my special 3, I throw a full combo into a heavy, I throw the special 3 for the long passive stun, and then I need to burst him down the rest of the way with this single combo chain. Otherwise, this fight is not ending in my favor. I go for a medium, light, medium, 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 light, light, medium, light, heavy special 1 combo, and it's not enough. It leaves him at 3%, and the fight would have been over, but nope. He throws the special 3, which is gonna refine the magma form and give him that big regen, which is basically as big as it can be now that he's so low. I still had one more chance to take it back. If I landed the combo straight after the special 3, I would have shut down his healing, since the slow debuff was still up on the opponent. I would have gone for a special 1, and that would have finished it. But because I didn't land the combo following up his special 3, I am now dead. If I hit him once, I get incinerated and I die. If I wait out the timer, well, I time out and it's a death anyways, so this is the first death of this season. Very unfortunate, and it was due to my very own stupidity. I've taken so many different mini-bosses on this node that I just completely overlooked the Indomitable node, and that cost us. It is very unfortunate, but I will make sure that that never happens again. And now that that is over and done with, we have the final fight of this war. A Korg on the Stunning Reflection miniboss node that I'm taking with the Omega Sentinel. I start with the heal block debuff, just to shut down any possible willpower healing, to make the fight a little bit faster, but the debuff here doesn't really matter all that much. And the game plan here is to get my armor ups up early to deal with the defense tactic, after which this is just a very basic Korg fight, though I still can't parry. Now, I get most of my openings while the rock shield is up by doing those heavy denials that I have mentioned a few times now. I basically just hold my block to make the opponent judge their heavy attack, and then I throw a light attack to get in there before their heavy can actually reach me, giving me the opening. And since it's a opening with a light attack, I do not take any of the rock thorns damage, and that's just a very simple way to shut down Korg's main defensive ability. I will also be utilizing one of Omega Sentinel's coolest abilities, her auto block. And the way the Stunning Reflection node works is that if the opponent is stunned, the stun is reflected to the attacker instead, and that's not good. But the node can be shut down with either Incinerate or Poison. And since Omega Sentinel's auto block triggers a Incinerate debuff on the opponent first, before the stun debuff, it means that the Stunning Reflection node is shut off with the Incinerate, and then they get parry stunned by the auto block, giving me a free opening to get the Incinerate debuff on the opponent, which then gives me constant power gain due to the Polka Dot power node. So now that I have the Incinerate on the opponent, I keep finishing my combos on a light attack to keep it paused, so that I got to my special 3, After that, I stopped pausing the incinerate to let it fall off, so that my special 3 would inflict those 6 incinerate debuffs, which will then finish the fight for me. If you don't let the incinerate fall off before using your special 3, instead of the debuffs, you simply just detonate the single incinerate on the opponent, dealing a bit of burst damage, which isn't worth it if you only have a single one on the opponent. As for the results, we did end up winning the war 16 to 10. Another horrible war for both of us, but at least we got the win, so once again I can't complain, but the death count needs to go down.